airline staff who I have spoken to, who dealt with Meghan Markle, who directly served Meghan Markle on long-haul flights, have told me directly that she was a complete to them. That she treated the staff absolutely appalling.
Meghan Markle just got caught red-handed, and the whole world's watching. Her alleged staged PR stunt has completely backfired, and now she's being called out as a manipulator and a liar. And if that wasn't enough, new reports are spilling. All the behind-the-scenes drama, including just how badly Meghan's been treating her staff. Sources claim it's been going on for years. So bad, in fact, that multiple team members reportedly needed therapy after working under her. One insider even says Meghan was so harsh to an employee that Queen Elizabeth herself had to personally intervene and shut it down. Yeah, it's that bad. So you might want to grab your tea and get comfortable, because what I'm about to spill is piping hot and seriously messy. All right, let's break down what's really happening here, because the Meghan Markle flight attendant story just took a seriously unexpected twist, and now the internet is in full-on detective.
It was at that point that a palace official had to ask Harry and Meghan, hey, speak to staff more understandingly. And Meghan replied, it's not my job to coddle people.
Mode. Here's how it all began. A flight attendant by the name of Nina Vita jumped on TikTok to share what at first sounded like a sweet, wholesome story. According to her, she had the honor of serving Meghan Markle on a recent American Airlines flight. She painted Meghan as an absolute dream, describing her as sweet, stunning in person, and even shared that
you guys will not believe who I just had on my flight, who I had a pleasure of serving. The Queen, the Princess, the Duchess of Sussex? The Meghan Markle was on my flight, and she's so beautiful in person.
That Meghan left a handwritten thank you note for the flight crew. Sounds adorable, right? Almost too adorable. Nina Vita gushed about Meghan's elegant cursive handwriting, calling it giving rich, giving expensive, giving princess. She even claimed Meghan complimented her bold, dramatic nails, the same ones a pilot had supposedly criticized earlier. To top it all off, Meghan allegedly responded to the crew's message with a napkin note that said, "All love right back to you." Classic Meghan, right? Cue the Princess Diana comparisons, because of course the media jumped all over it, spinning it as Meghan's Diana moment. Poised, graceful, personal, relatable. And let's be honest, with Meghan constantly drawing subtle parallels to the late Princess of Wales, the whole narrative felt almost too perfectly timed. But then, the plot twist. Not long after the story went viral, everything started to fall apart. Reports started to surface that Nina Vita had allegedly retracted her story, saying she never even met Meghan Markle. Wait, what? So now the internet is losing its mind. Was this a fake story? A PR stunt? Or just someone chasing TikTok clout that spiraled out of control? Some are brushing it off as a harmless mix-up. Others are convinced this was a carefully planned PR move to make Meghan look more grounded, more of the people, and of course, more Diana. The timing, suspicious, especially since Meghan and Harry have been slowly creeping back into the spotlight, with new projects, brand deals, and public appearances. So a viral Meghan flies commercial and writes sweet notes to staff moment, total PR gold until it completely backfired. Now, with the original TikToker seemingly walking back her claims and the entire thing unraveling in real time, everyone's asking, was Meghan Markle actually on that flight? Did the napkin even exist? Or is this just another bizarre twist in the never-ending image war surrounding the Duchess of Sussex? Because what started as a feel-good TikTok has now blown up into a messy media circus. And not in Meghan's favor. A story that was supposed to show Meghan as a humble royal, ditching private jets and spreading handwritten love at 30,000 feet, is now full of contradictions, backlash, and big red flags. And here's where things get messier. Outlets like Page, 6 didn't waste a second running with the story, painting Meghan as the graceful Duchess flying among the people. Sweet note, no entourage, all Diana energy. But the critics, they weren't buying a word of it. They started calling out the media, especially Page 6, for running the story without doing basic fact-checking. The TikTok by Nina Vita, the one that kicked off this whole saga, was taken at face value. But as the post went viral, things started falling apart faster than an in-flight snack tray. Let's talk about the stock photo disaster. One of the biggest red flags? A photo of Meghan from 2016 was circulated as if it was taken during the flight. Yep. A 7-year-old image being used to prove Meghan was there. People immediately started accusing Page 6 of knowingly misleading readers. And honestly, it's not a good look. This kind of media manipulation doesn't just make one outlet look sketchy, it damages public trust in celebrity coverage altogether. Let's not forget, sharing private information about a VIP passenger, that's a massive breach in the airline world. American Airlines has strict privacy rules, and while Nina Vita's TikTok might have seemed harmless to some, it could have easily gotten her fired. The backlash came in hard and fast, and soon after, Nina reportedly walked her story back. Completely. So now the million-dollar question is, did this encounter actually happen? Or was it all part of a much bigger strategy? Critics aren't buying the humble Duchess flies commercial narrative. Some claim Meghan didn't choose economy seating to be relatable. They say she had no choice. With rumors of financial stress piling up, people believe this wasn't a PR move. It was survival. And if that's the case, then the handwritten napkin note, the glowing story, the Diana-style setup. It all starts to feel a little too staged. And the internet noticed. Meghan just keeps embarrassing herself. This is PR 101 gone wrong. She thinks everyone will just blindly believe whatever she puts out. It's insulting. A hand-written napkin. Why didn't she write a handwritten note to Jamie Kern-Lima instead of sending a typed one? Total fraud. This smells like a full-on Meghan Markle production, and if this flight attendant really shared private info, Meghan was definitely behind it. She's so desperate for attention and money, it's actually sad. This whole thing is just lies on top of lies. Meghan Markle's commercial flight fairy tale? Completely exposed. People even called out the media, especially Page 6, for running with the story without checking facts. One user wrote, "If you're going to lie, at least lie well. This was lazy and obvious, and if these are the kinds of people working for American Airlines..." Yikes! The irony. Meghan Markle, aka Mrs. Privacy, suddenly at the center of a viral scandal about leaking her own flight details. It's wild, but this latest mess is shining a harsh spotlight on Meghan's bigger image problem. Just recently, New Dean, reports broke about how Meghan allegedly treats the people who work for her, and it's not pretty. A Vanity Fair article recently peeled back the curtain on Meghan's post-royal life, and let's just say, it's anything but a fairy tale. Behind the glam and carefully curated public image is a storm of PR chaos, internal drama, and a woman whose Hollywood dreams may be clashing hard with cold, real-world consequences. Multiple insiders say Meghan's alleged behavior behind the scenes has been not just difficult but at times emotionally scarring. Team members working on her Spotify podcast Archetypes reportedly took stress leaves, quit, or entered therapy after working with her. One person didn't hold back, saying, "You don't tell Meghan and Harry no. I left because I couldn't live with myself anymore." Another insider claimed Meghan is highly skilled at reading people, but not to connect with them, to control them. It's a game of chess, and if you're not a piece she needs, you're out. These new revelations are echoing the bullying allegations. That came out during her time at Kensington Palace. Claims Meghan has always denied. but the emotional toll described by Spotify staff and other partners is painting a disturbing pattern that's getting harder to ignore. There's even a moment from 2018 that insiders say revealed a lot. During a food tasting session for the royal wedding at Windsor Castle, Meghan allegedly scolded catering staff after claiming there was egg in a supposedly vegan dish. That's when Queen Elizabeth herself reportedly stepped in and shut it down, with a firm but iconic line. "Meghan, in this family, we don't speak to people like that." It was a rare glimpse into how the late Queen handled things behind closed doors, not just as a monarch, but as a matriarch who didn't tolerate rudeness. And the drama didn't stop there. While Meghan was living at Frogmore Cottage, she reportedly upset one of the royal undergardeners so badly, the head gardener went straight to the Queen. According to royal historian Hugo Vickers, Queen Elizabeth personally drove over to deliver a reprimand. She clearly didn't like staff being mistreated, but perhaps the most damning detail? The so-called Sussex Survivors Club. According to Daily Mail royal editor Rebecca English, that's the nickname given to former staffers who managed to make it out. Among them, Meghan's personal assistant, Melissa Twabty, who resigned just 6 months after the wedding. One source claims Meghan berated her over the color of custom blankets ordered for an event at Sandringham. And this assistant. She wasn't a rookie. She was described as exceptionally talented. She was reportedly left traumatized after working under Meghan. Jason Knopf, who was serving as communications secretary at the time, actually took the extraordinary step of filing a formal complaint, not just internally, but directly to Prince William's office. In the email, he alleged bullying behavior and said that 2 personal assistants had already been pushed out of the Sussex household. He didn't mince words, writing, "The Duchess seems determined to always have someone in her crosshairs." This prompted Buckingham Palace to launch an internal investigation, a major move. But here's the twist. The results of that investigation never made public, which has only added fuel to speculation that it may have been buried, all to protect the image of the royal brand. Now, Meghan's defenders are quick to frame these stories differently. They say she's simply a woman with high standards, direct, assertive, and misunderstood in an environment that wasn't built to support strong, outspoken women. They argue she's been relentlessly targeted by a biased media from day one. But critics, and some of those who worked with her, are telling a different story, one with recurring themes: sky-high demands, public humiliation, emotional exhaustion, a work culture so intense it allegedly pushed staffers to the brink. Some insiders have even said Meghan's management style was so harsh it left team members emotionally shattered and, in some cases, completely broken. And behind all the glitz, the royal titles, and the high-fashion appearances, a much darker picture seems to be forming. Not a fairy tale, but one filled with fractured relationships, overwhelmed aides, and a queen quietly trying to hold things together from behind the scenes. So now we're left asking, was Meghan Markle simply a modern woman clashing with an outdated institution? Or is there a pattern here that points to something far more unsettling beneath the surface? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And don't forget to check out our other videos so you never miss a drop of the latest. Royalty. Until next time, bye.